Good morning. This is Professor Todd Elliott, and today we're going to do a short video on how to apply the DC bias voltages to a 741 op amp. If you're using a different amplifier, the pins will be different, but the technique is basically the same. So with our 741, there are a total of 4 pins on each side, so it's 8 pins in total. And like all chips of this configuration, there is a notch and or a little dimple at the one corner. That denotes pin 1. So the pin numbers are pin 1, 2, 3, 4, and then coming to the other side, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I do is I always orientate the chip so the notch is facing up, kind of away from me, and then I never get confused about which pin is what. One thing with all chips, and op amps are no exception, is they don't like to be inserted into the board or removed with the power on. That's a major no-no. These will also not tolerate having the plus and minus bias voltages polarities reversed, so be careful not to do that. So first things first, this is a 10 microfarad electrolytic capacitor, and these are called power supply filtering, demodulation, decoupling. The idea is that you put it close to the chip as possible, and it just provides a little bit of filtering if there's any ripple or disturbances that come down the DC power supply line, which might upset the op amp. It's always a good idea to use them. With this style electrolytic, notice there's a sort of a groove, a notch, a dimple on the one end. It goes all the way around. That's always the positive end. And you notice how we have an arrow with a minus signs facing this way, so they're always telling you which way is the negative end and which way is the positive end. Okay, so on the 741, the pin 7, which is this pin right here, is the positive VCC. Now I will eventually be connecting this to plus minus 12 for the bias voltages, but we need to get it connected up first. Okay, so if I just zoom out here just a little bit here, on my breadboard I'm using this rail as the positive, so I'm going to take my wire, I'm just going to insert it just like that. Let's just go here, pin 7, into the positive rail there, and that rail at the other end of the breadboard will connect itself to the 12 volts. The rail, the blue rail on this side, is the ground, and I'm going to connect my capacitor up. One end, the positive end, the dimple end, goes to the positive rail, and the negative goes to the ground. I'm putting this as physically as close to the chip as I can. If you wanted to, there's nothing to say you can't put the positive right into the pin 7, but as long as it's by the chip in the positive, it'll still be just fine. Okay, so my pencil here, sorry. So this end here is the dimple, that's the positive, and that's going to pin 7, and then the negative goes then down to the ground. If you reverse this, you will soon find out what happens. Make sure you're wearing your safety glasses. Anyway, on the other end, this is pin 4. This is the negative VEE. This is the negative DC bias voltage. So that's going to be on this pin right here, and that's going to go to there. Now just my choice. On this side of the breadboard, I made this the negative 12, and on this side I made it the positive 12, just because it kind of works for me. But however you wire it, just make sure you do it correctly. So this is going to go then to there, and then that will bring in the minus 12 volts into pin 4. Now we have another 10 microfarad electrolytic capacitor. Okay, this is where it can be a little tricky the first time you've seen this, is that can we agree that ground, which is our reference 0, which I'm going to make on this side, and let's do it right now. I'm going to connect my little black jumper wire into, which will go in there. There we go, it's a little tight. That will eventually go then to my ground, my power supply. So I'll just leave that off like that. And that the ground is positive with respect to the negative VEE. So in this case then, the positive end of the capacitor is actually the grounded end. So that's going to go to there, and then the negative end will go to the negative negative VE pin 4. So this time I may have to zoom out a little bit. Maybe you can see that a little bit better there. Sorry, it's hard to keep everything quite in focus, but so this pin here, this goes to pin 4. This goes by our blue wire here to our minus 12. This is our negative capacitor end. This is the dimple. That's the positive, and that's going to go down to our ground rail. Okay, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye.